offered a $25,000 who out there knows something that...
9-year-old Edgar Anderson.
Not only has Commissioner Nelson, boy is lost to our street.
I have to fit the teeth. Look.
Child doesn't just disappear.
How's Vincent?
My son is gone and nowhere about no one but himself.
We've been making some of the best passion about the work.
You know, Lenny doesn't like to walk around.
He's cool.
Shit. And you got your charity event coming up? Vincent may introduce my brother-in-law.
I'm so sorry about your son. Be kind, be brave, be...
Here come. They said Mr. Anderson.
Up your story. Get your ducks in a...
Down on you.
Our world.
Excuse me, I'm here.
A picture to pick for him. But he wanted the day he passed. Good-looking kid. To get anything about him in the...
According to your statement, then just under...
But by washing away from it all of this.
She said that you fought about.
My client does not have to.
I'm just trying to get this straight.
The possessions of Edgar Anderson, Ivan Morris Howe, are seen strewn over the floor as episode 3 of Eric opens. According to a news story, the family has put up a $25,000 prize. Clark informs the media that George, Clark Peters, was freed from custody without facing any charges in relation to Edgar Anderson's disappearance. Commissioner Nelson's activities against minority groups are mocked by her. Vincent Anderson, Benedict Cumberbatch, is reminded by Eric that his pitch is in less than 24 hours. Vincent must be present for Jerry's celebration. Gabby Hoffman's character Cassie Anderson discusses Edgar's absence with a lady. She thinks the funds will be beneficial. Vincent seems to be keeping something from Cassie. Cassie becomes irate because she feels that the woman is talking about the same old garbage when she suggests phoning Dr. Mason. When Vincent arrives at the party, Lenny, Dan Fogler and Jerry, Donald Sage Mackay are already there. He discusses the script with Ronnie, Roberta Colindrez. Ronnie is aware that the suspect was set go. Vincent is told by Ronnie that they are on his side and that drinking won't help him. Vincent is stopped before he can leave by Counselor Costello, Jeff Hefner, who tells him the Sunshine Charity is a fantastic cause. Vincent finds it amazing that Costello's proposal to transport the homeless out of the city is linked to a gift made to an organization that aids the underprivileged. Bruno Di Bari, Gerard Monaco, Costello's brother-in-law, stops over to discuss the state of New York's health and cleanliness. Vincent thinks Hudson Sanitation is owned by Bruno. Vincent is sidetracked when he notices Ledroit, McKinley Belcher 3 close by, even though Bruno is trying to speak with him. Ledroit desires that he come to be questioned at the station. Cassie thinks Edgar is home when she sees cops at her house. George informs her that Mr. Anderson has been taken into custody. She keeps screaming for him to go. Eric is talking to Vincent while he wanders around his cell. Speaking with Mr. Rochelle at the police station, Cassie learns that her son Marlon has passed away. Edgar comes up in conversation. Cecile claims she had to struggle to get any information about her son published in the media. Michael Ledroit plays a security footage of Edgar leaving his flat to Vincent in an interrogation room. Despite his earlier statements to the contrary, Vincent is seen leaving a few seconds later. He's talking to Eric when he blurts out something. Ledroit says Cassie told him that Vincent had followed Edgar that day over the phone. She added that the evening before Edgar vanished, they got into a disagreement. Is Edgar aware of them? Ledroit queries. Vincent claims that he did, and that out of worry, he followed Edgar. He clarifies that he phoned Edgar but couldn't hear him. Ledroit notes that a few seconds later, Vincent disappears from view. During the interview, Vincent can't stop talking to himself. Erica Soto's Tina shows up with a suitcase. After peering through the door, Cassie is instructed to wait below. Ledroit queries Vincent about the gash on his head as he loses consciousness. Ledroit discloses that the blood on the t-shirt matches his blood type. To stop talking, Vincent screams. He expresses to Ledroit his desire to ensure Edgar's well-being. He reached out for Edgar and followed him down an alley. Edgar managed to break away even though he had him by the nape of the neck. Once more, Vincent seized him and pulled him by his t-shirt. He must have done that for that reason. As Vincent puts it, there was a lot of blood. Edgar, according to him, removed the t-shirt and tossed it at him. Vincent claims that because there was so much blood, he placed it on his forehead. He then hurled the t-shirt behind the trash can. Ledroit confides in the commissioner that he would like to detain Vincent for the night so he may work through his issues. The press will go bananas over this, he's been warned. Cassie is instructed to return tomorrow by Ledroit. He says that a few hours after Vincent left, a man entered the flat and stayed there for a while. Ledroit worries if she can trust the man. Cassie claims that he is a pal. Lenny inquires about Cassie. A transient pulls out a t-shirt next to an Edgar poster. An article in the news discusses the homeless crisis. After seeing the report, Costello and Bruno decide to move the homeless people to more acceptable housing. Bruno says he's excited to collaborate with him, but Costello is adamant that this will be their final meeting. Bruno queries who is in debt to whom. According to the article, the Hudson Sanitation Company, which was given a contract earlier this year to clean up New York's tunnels, is supporting the plan. Before feeding his dog, Ricardo, Orlando Norman consumes food from a can. Ledroit discovers Cecile dozing out in the police station's foyer. Cassie throws an arm's worth of alcohol bottles in the garbage in another scene. She queries Lenny about his belief that Vincent killed Edgar. Lenny stays silent. Since he had run away, she implies, he would have returned home, and since he is dead, nobody can harm him. Lenny informs her that Vincent was receiving medication when he was 9 years old when she claims Anne. Phoebe Nichols places the blame on her. He labels Vincent and Anne as insane. In the event that Edgar is not found, Cassie promises to leave Vincent and acknowledges having an affair. Lenny gives her the assurance that Edgar will be located safely. Ledroit makes an effort to persuade Cecile that Marlon Rochelle is still remembered. She claims that because Edgar is white, the media is only focusing on Edgar and not him. She says she wants to hug Marlon and that she would not stop talking to him until he does more. Ledroit offers to remain at home with William, Mark Gillis, after helping him to reset in the living room. William exhorts him to persevere through all obstacles. A man calls Cassie in another scene and is bothersome. She throws the smokes in the garbage, yet she still thinks about smoking. Tina and Ledroit observe CCTV in the alleyway by the dry cleaner at the police station. Edgar may be seen heading left toward his school at 8:14 a.m. while still wearing his jacket. Vincent is spotted in the alley at 8:18 a.m., but he goes in a different direction than Edgar. Vincent leaves the Herald Street subway at 8:34 a.m. and makes his way to the studio, where he spends the whole day save for a 20-minute lunch break. Reporters start attacking Vincent. He says he envisions a future in which children may stroll to and from school without fear. 5 days later, a journalist, Andrew Hassiriot, reports him dead. Vincent swears at him, telling him Edgar is still alive. Cassie apologizes to George at another place. To view Edgar's sketches, he takes her downstairs with him. She looks at them and grins. Ledroit arranges Marlon's picture next to Edgar's on the inquiry board. He suggests there could be a connection between Edgar and Marlon's disappearances to Commissioner Cripp, David Denman. Cripp informs him of Marlon's drug accusations and implies that he is either high in the Hudson River or some other place. Cecile, in Ledroit's opinion, merits closure. Cripp cautions against meddling in Vice's inquiry. Ledroit receives nothing except a severe warning when he questions Noakes, Ryan Hunter, about 8. Cassie is surprised when Vincent gets home. Eric instructs him to tidy up as he needs to present Edgar's puppet. Cassie walks over to where Sebastian, Jose Pimentel, is distributing meals to the homeless. Putting his arm around her, he tells her that Edgar is not dead. Edgar is seen laying still in a tunnel under the surface. Vincent reconnects Jerry, Avi Nagler, and Sam with Edgar's Eric. To help Eric feel at home, Jackson, Simon Magnonda, Ronnie, Roberta Colindrez, Ellis, Chloe Claudel, and Murray, Adam Silver pitch in. Edgar is being held captive by Yusuf, Bama Kane, in the tunnels used by the homeless. Vincent visits the Lux with his co-workers. George Lester plays a drag queen who welcomes them. Vincent walks into the tavern and unintentionally runs into Wade Alain Marcus Gator. Cripp must locate Tina, a competent police officer, per Lorenzo, Lawrence Moran. Ledroit is urged by Cripp to locate him a wife and avoid the Lux. Ledroit and Tina are having sex in a vehicle a short while later. He turns down her invitation to come in. He inquires about Dana, Noakes' wife. She asserts that Noakes is not Dana's ideal spouse. Jerry informs Lenny that Vincent has left and Eric has entered. He is staring at Lenny. Jerry claims that when Edgar is absent, Vincent is drinking. In the background, Vincent is seen having a fantastic time. Before leaving, he gives Lenny the order to terminate Vincent. Alexis Molner's character Rhea and Yusuf quarrel on what to do with Edgar. She claims that TJ, or Stefan Race, can fetch a high price for him. Edgar, frightened, is told not to move by him. For Edgar, Cassie and Sebastian distribute flyers. She picks up Marlon's missing person flyer and gets the phone number. Ledroit displays a picture of Marlon to TJ. TJ disputes having seen him. Gator grabs Ledroit's arm and insists that he look again. Ledroit claims that being incarcerated softened him and reassures him that life continued outside of jail. If TJ betrays him, Gator says he will murder him. Vincent is puffing on narcotics. When Lenny comes to see how Eric is doing, he snorts a line. Vincent tells him it's all right. Lenny begs him to return to Cassie at home. Eric and Vincent take to the dance floor. Ledroit notices him. Lenny is at the bar, watching him. A stack of paperwork is unintentionally knocked onto the floor by a police station janitor. Lenny's file is among them. The show comes to an end.